can only be raised if the Supreme Court issues a ruling na illegal yung arrest ni President
PRRD.
Duterte.
Yes.
Okay.
At kung illegal ho yung arrest na yon, then Torre can face all of these cases later.
All of them.
All of them. Even Matibag. In fact, there is a petition by Senator De La Rosa in the Supreme Court to stop the government, stop the BBM administration from enforcing that warrant. Especially now that NBI Director Matibag served that warrant apparently in an illegal manner without going through the regional trial court. So, yan po ang malaking issue ngayon dito sa pag-arrest kay Senator De La Rosa. It is now in the Philippine Supreme Court. And I think the NBI and BBM administration should respect that this issue is now in the Supreme Court and therefore they should stop. Stop. Magandang araw, Pilipinas! Sa dami ng ingay sa politika, sa dami ng opinion sa social media,
May isang tanong na gusto nating sagutin.
hindi propaganda,
Hindi chismis,
katotohanan. Dito, walang iwasan ha.
Walang paligoy-ligoy, sa totoo lang.
Ang panauhin natin ngayon ay napaka-in-demand. Dahil ang mga issues ngayon ay tungkol sa pag-aresto kay Senator Bato de la Rosa ng NBI Director Matibag. At hindi natuloy yung pag-aresto na iyon dahil hindi nila nahuli si Senator de la Rosa. Pero ang ating naman pagsusuri ay tila napaka-abusado naman ng NBI sa kanilang pamamaraan sa pag-aresto ng isang senador sa loob pa ng Senado. At hindi lamang yon. Ang Presidente BBM mismo ang nagsabi na hindi ko yan inutos ha. Wala ako inutos dyan. Tapos si Secretary Remulla ay pumunta pa doon at nagsabi na hindi yan inutos ng DILG at ng PNP. Ibig sabihin, mamaya pag-usapan natin si Director Matibag, ay solo flight pala ito. Kati, si NBI Director Matibag nag-solo flight sa kanyang attempt to arrest a senator of the Republic inside the Senate grounds. Kaya nung naghambulan at nag-wrestle sila, yung mga NBI, ni-wrestle nila si Senator De La Rosa. Diba?
Yes.
Kabali-bali yung mga daliri niya ba?
Correct.
Yung mga sugat-sugat siya.
Dadapa pa.
Oo, at dadapa pa. Buti na hindi tinamaan ang ulo. Baka tumubo ang buhok kung tinamaan. Ang ulo, kaya hindi lang yun. Hindi lang yun ang tanong, may ICC warrant ba talaga? Ngayon, itong Secretary of Justice, kailan lang sinabi niya na meron naman talaga daw na verified. O sige, sabihin na natin meron. Pero ang patakaran ba na ginawa ni NBI Director Matibag ay legal o illegal? At saan siya kumuha ng kanyang authority na i-serve niya yung warrant na yan sa loob ng Senado at sa isang sitting senator na nung araw na yon ay boboto sa reorganization ng Senate President. Aside from that, sinabi na ni BBM na hindi niya inutos ikaw talaga BBM kung minsan hindi na kita magets. The best friend kita, hindi ko mabasa itong mga sinasabi mo. Sabi mo, hindi mo inutos. Bakit the next day, the next day, may mga NBI na naman doon na nagbabarina doon sa pader ng GSIS. Kasi ang Senate building, Senate office ay nagre-renta po sa GSIS building. So, may pagitan lang silang pader. Ang na-discover ngayon may nagbabarina. Sino nga Sergeant at Arms, Kati?
Si General Mao.
Mao
Aplaza?
Aplaska. Ito yung bagong hero ngayon eh. Si General Mao Aplaska. Siyempre na-discover nila na may nagbabarina mula doon sa kabilang side ng GSIS building.
At saka, Mother, let me remind everyone, let me clarify, no? Yung Senate at saka yung GSIS, isang building lang yun.
Yes, correct.
Door lang ang pagitan.
At pader.
Pader,
Oh, yun
exactly. Pader pala, pader.
O, taka yung door na yun yung binabarina.
Yes.
Oo. Ay, si Sergeant at Arms, retired General Aplaska, ay nag-warning shot. Kaya sinabi niya, nakita ko. Nung nag-warning shot siya, sumagot naman ng shots ang nasa kabila. Which later, they found out, mga NBI pala yun.
Yes.
Kaya nag-engage mo yung putukan. Ang daming putukan. Hindi ba?
At saka, Mother, ang weird kasi, di ba? Usually, if you want, kasi sabi, di ba, lumabas naman yung mga sulat ng GSIS na nag-request po sila dyan sa NBI ng protection. But you know, apparently, ang rule is ang unang tatawagan mo or hingan mo ng tulong ay kapulisan or military. If you want safety and peace and order.
Bakit naman itong si President Biloso ay tumawag ng NBI? Bakit may sindikato ba dyan sa loob ng GSIS? Meron bang ano dyan? Drugs, trafficking, money laundering? Napaka hinahinala yung letter na yon na nilabas pagkatapos na, no? As an afterthought. Kaya susuriin natin yan uli after our guest explains to us whether or not that ICC warrant that NBI Director Matipag attempted to serve to arrest Senator Bato de la Rosa
Via Trillanes.
Baya Trillanes? Meron bang Baya Trillanes? Ano si Sheriff Trillanes ay valid ba yun? Ano ang mga rules at ano ang articles sa Rome Statute na dapat maging guideline o batayan niyan pag may warrant ang ICC na pinapaserve at papahuli yung isang akusado. So, we have with us a very, very distinguished guest. Of course, she can only do it through Viber because she cannot come to the station. And she has a Master of Laws from the University of Hong Kong. She also has a PhD in Public International Law. And please welcome Dr. Attorney Melissa Loha. Doctor, hello.
Good morning.
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Loha. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So the question before the audience today is whether the NBI has an authority to execute the ICC warrant. And we don't need to assume that there is an ICC warrant because it has already been unsealed, therefore it's already published in the website of the ICC. Now, it's not the warrant itself that we will be questioning because obviously we do not have the authority to question the ICC warrant itself, but rather the acts of the NBI in executing the warrant. Now, the NBI is citing 3 bases, and we will need to go through each of them. One is the Constitution, of course. Second is the Rome Statute, and finally, RA 9851. And these are also the same sources being cited by various commentaries. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. The RA 9851 was passed during the term of
2009.
President GMA.
Right.
But
right.
the issue, the primary issue being asked by the public is whether or not an ICC warrant can be enforced in the Philippines without going through the domestic courts.
Right. So let me just go through each of the sources being relied upon by the NBI. Of course, when it comes to the Constitution, it's very clear that only a local court can issue a warrant to deprive a person of his personal liberty. And therefore, the Constitution itself cannot be the basis of the authority of the NBI to execute a foreign warrant. Second would be the Rome Statute. Now, under the Rome Statute, Article 59 is very specific. It says that if there is an ICC warrant executed in a jurisdiction such as, for instance, the Philippines, then the first step would be for the arresting officer to bring the accused to a competent judicial authority. And the wording of Article 59 is very specific. Competent judicial authority, not executive authority like the DOJ, as what happened with President Duterte. So in this case, the competent judicial authority would be a regional trial court.
Right.
Now, the purpose of presenting the accused to a competent judicial authority is to enforce a very important right recognized by the Rome Statute itself, and which is the right to apply for interim release.
Interim release.
Yeah, before surrender. So that is a right recognized by the Rome Statute. And so if the NBI draws its authority from the Rome Statute, then it has to also recognize that right of the accused or arrested person to seek interim release. Now, it will not cherry pick, meaning the NBI cannot just choose certain provisions that would favor its authority and ignore all the rest. Everything has to be taken into account. Now,
Right.
why does the NBI insist that it does not need to go to a court? And this is also the same line of reasoning of certain deans of law schools and certain commentators before the Philippine media. The reason is that they rely on 9851, in particular the second paragraph of Section 17, which provides, and you're correct, it's a 2009 law preceding the 2011 ratification of the Rome Statute. Now, 9851, Section 17, paragraph 2, first sentence provides that Philippine authorities may dispense with the investigation or prosecution of persons arrested for such crimes as war crimes, crimes against humanity, and so on, and bring or transfer that person or surrender that person to a foreign court or an international tribunal. So that is the particular provision which NBI and all the rest are relying on to justify a direct surrender of, let us say, Senator Bato or the president, former president, to the ICC. Now, can these provisions, 59 and 17 of the local law, be reconciled? Now, before we talk about the reconciliation of 59 and 17, we need to go first to 18 of 9851, which provides that a person arrested under 9851, crimes against humanity, etc., will have to be brought to the exclusive, so very specific, the term exclusive, and original jurisdiction of the RTC. So currently, if you look at the three provisions, 59, 17, 18, it's a mix-up. How do we reconcile that? So the first rule of thumb naman talaga when it comes to criminal law is that the rights of the accused is paramount.
Of course.
Walang derogation unless there's a clear provision of the law. And under our Constitution, and here the Bill of Rights operates, dapat talaga ang arrest niya is by a Philippine judge. So that's the general rule. Kung meron mga exceptions, dapat very clear. And that particular rule is reinforced by 59, which says na bring him to a local judicial authority and allow him interim release and so on. Now, what is wrong with 17? Why was that adopted? And I think, your staff to post the original version of 17, and if that's possible for the public to see, the original Section 17 of Senate Bill 2669, which became 9851, the original 17 has a precondition which says that if the accused person, for instance, is a foreign national, meaning hindi siya Filipino, or the crime took place in another territory, or the crime has no impact on Philippine national security. So yun yung precondition. Then Philippine authorities might dispense with the need to investigate and prosecute that person in Philippine jurisdiction. And the last pa na may provision pa dito, and this is because there has to be a link between the accused person about to be surrendered and a foreign state. Now, why was this provision essential? Let us remember that 9851 was 2009, and prior to that, the Philippines entered into a non-surrender agreement with the U.S., which provides that the Philippines shall not surrender an American citizen, whether civilian or military, to the ICC or any international criminal tribunal. That person will have to be surrendered to U.S. jurisdiction. So obviously, magkakaroon ka kaagad ng conflict between 17 and the treaty obligation of the Philippines to the U.S. And therefore, the authors of 2669 included this provision, this precondition in the original version of 17. And during the interpellation, Joker Arroyo raised the question of an apparent conflict between the principle of complementarity under Section 18, the original exclusive jurisdiction of the regional trial court, etc., and 17 on the surrender of an individual to a foreign jurisdiction. And yung sponsor at that time, Senator Gordon, and I think he has been going the rounds of the media and saying something rather strange. And Senator Gordon pointed to this very precondition. He said, there's no need, there's no worry. We will not surrender the foreign national we will surrender the foreign national to his state or to an international tribunal, but we will not surrender a Filipino citizen. So it all depends if yung na arrest is a Filipino citizen or a foreigner. So the operation of this particular paragraph would apply only to a foreign national who is arrested in Philippine territory for crimes against humanity and so on. Now, this is also reiterated in the interpellation of Senator Biason. And again, I think it was Senator Gordon again, pointing to this specific provision as to why this provision is very restricted application. It does not apply to situations where the person arrested is a Filipino. In that event, Section 18 would have to apply because it provides, and this one is very consistent with the Constitution and Article 59, and here we are now harmonizing the three provisions. It provides that jurisdiction is original and exclusive in the regional trial court. Now, what has happened after all this? We should not forget that during the same week, the CIDG issued a subpoena against Senator Bato for violation of RA 9851. What does that signify? Of course, in the following day, nag-withdraw daw ang CIDG, but then again, parang revive na naman nila. What does that signify? It signifies the operability of what is known as the principle of complementarity under international criminal law, which says that the ICC's jurisdiction is only after or complementary or even just secondary because it is the local court first which must exercise jurisdiction. And it is only when the local authorities are unable or unwilling to investigate or prosecute that the ICC will step in. So the initiation of an investigation against Senator Bato already, immediately and automatically strips the ICC of jurisdiction to the point that it must now withdraw the warrant if, for instance, the counsels of Senator Bato will apply for that particular order, or eventually it will have to rule on a non-admissibility of the case against Senator Bato because of the principle of complementarity.
Now, Dr. Loha, just to go to specifics so that our listeners here will understand this better. Ano po ang ginamit ni NBI Matibag na basihan sa kanyang pag-serve ng ICC warrant? Yun po ba ang Rome Statute o yung RA 9851?
That is unclear. As far as the CIDJ is concerned, 9851 talaga ang in-invoke nila sa
Yes.
subpoena. With respect to the NBI, as far as I can tell from the media interviews, it's the Rome Statute. Now, what does that mean? We already withdrew from the Rome Statute, which means that the Rome Statute has no application on Philippine territory, which is why even ICC investigators cannot enter Philippine territory using their diplomatic passports. They cannot invoke diplomatic immunity anymore. So ordinary na lang sila. They can enter if you have a visa and so on. You have no diplomatic immunity. Even, I think it was it was Duterte who said, if you set foot in Philippine territory, I'll have you arrested. And
Yes,
that is
yes.
how the extreme exercise of sovereignty vis-a-vis
Yeah.
the Rome Statute. So wala nang application yung Rome Statute sa territory. Now, what does it mean that the ICC appeals tribe chamber still ruled that it has jurisdiction? Now, the issue before the ICC appeals chamber was whether it has jurisdiction over the subject matter, meaning the crime committed.
This is the Rodrigo Duterte case.
Yes. Ito lang yung issue niya. It did not rule on the issue of whether it has jurisdiction over the person of Duterte, because that issue was not raised by the councils of President Duterte. So 59 was not raised, and that was the beef between Harry Roque and the council of, because Harry Roque had wanted 59 to be raised before the appeals chamber. Now, because that was the limited scope of the jurisdiction of the appeals chamber, its ruling could only apply to the question of whether there is jurisdiction of the subject matter. And there is jurisdiction because the crime was committed between the period of accession to 2011 to 2019, or the effectivity of our withdrawal. Now, as far as the instruments of the ICC can be enforced in Philippine territory. Now here, we're talking here about territory na, not just the acts, not just the crime or the person. Territory na to. The moment that the withdrawal took effect, our territory was removed from the application of the Rome Statute. So nothing in the Rome Statute can apply to us anymore. That's the rule. Now, with respect to the warrant, as I said, kahit nga yung diplomatic passports nila, hindi pwede i-recognize. Kahit yung kanilang diplomatic immunity can no longer be recognized in Philippine territory. Much more yung warrants of arrest, which would deprive a person in Philippine territory of its liberty. And in fact, supersede the Constitution and RA 9851 if we take the extreme interpretation adopted by the NBI and the Executive Department, that 9851 by reason of 17 means we can just go ahead and surrender the person to the ICC, notwithstanding Article 15.
So in the De La Rosa case, we have a situation where ang warrant galing sa ICC. Tapos gustong i-enforce ng NBI. Ang sinasabi naman ng NBI, ang pag-enforce niya ay ayon sa RA 9851. Correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Yes.
But ayon sa ICC na Article 57 sa Rome Statute,
59.
kasi sinasabi nila, kahit hindi na tayo member doon, bound tayo dyan sa statute na yan dahil ang mga ginawang offenses allegedly ay nangyari nung tayo ay membro pa ng ICC, correct?
No, the wording of the provision is we are bound to cooperate during the Criterion period from the notification of withdrawal to the effectivity of withdrawal. It does not mean that we're bound by the wrong statute.
Yes. Okay. So,
Mag-cooperate.
yes, we have a situation na ang ICC warrant gustong i-enforce ng ICC at itong gobyerno ni BBM ginamit ang NBI matibag, although nagde-deny si BBM na inutos niya yan. Ewan ko kung sino ngayon ang nag-utos kay Matibag dahil hindi daw siya inutusan ng presidente ng Pilipinas na i-enforce ang ICC warrant na yan. So, isa sa kanila nagsisinungaling. Alam na naman sabihin ko na si BBM ang sinungaling. Di sasabihin ko si Matibag ang sinungaling, presidente siya. So, nung mga kababayan, nung i-enforce, i-aresto nila si Bato de la Rosa kasi nga kailangan nilang i-aresto yan para may nag-utos di ba? Nung inaresto nila si Senator de la Rosa, ang sinasabi ni Matibag, ang ginagamit naman nila ay ang ating lokal na batas na RA 9851. Ngayon, pag ginamit mo naman ang RA, dahil yan ang sinasabi niya, hindi naman pwedeng ang batas natin na lokal ay basta na lang baliwain ang mga rules of court ng pag-aaresto. In fact, ginawa nila yan kay former Senator Rodrigo Duterte na hiningan ni PRRD ng by whose authority, si Torres, sinabi niya may authority, sabi niya, where's the warrant? Sabi niya, nag-vague siya because he really had no warrant in his hands. Alright? So, ang sinasabi ni Dr. Loha na dapat pag-aresto, sinasabi natin, kung valid nga yung ICC warrant na yan, dapat kung arestuhin siya ng mga ng executive department, itong NBI, executive ito, under ito sa Secretary of Justice dapat ay mag-comply ang NBI muna sa rules. Hindi lamang nung sinasabi ng ICC Article 59 na dapat, number 1, dalhin mo siya sa competent judicial authority. O court yan, hindi pwedeng SOJ dyan Ito mga SOJ na nagsabi sa hearing ni Senator Amy Marcos na they function as a court, ang tanga-tanga mo. Alam mo, ang tanga, buti na lang hindi kita estudyante. Tanga mo Anyway, wag na galitin ng lola. Ang pangalawa, ibig sabihin, dalhin mo siya sa court, NBI Director Matibag, dahil number 1, sasabihin ng court, nasaan ang warrant ng ICC? Number 2, ito ba talaga ang pangalan ni Ronald Bato de la Rosa? Baka kapangalan lang ito. Hindi ba? Yan. Number 3, ginawa mo ba? Nag-comply ka ba sa lahat ng Bill of Rights sa pag-aresto? Did you tell him his Miranda rights? Did you ganito? Yan. Ang ginawa nila, hinabol nila ng hinabol, no crime was being committed. At the time, nagpupursut sila kung sa criminal law pa sa Pilipinas. Ginawa nila hot pursuit sila.
Yeah.
Diba? Hindi naman kailangan i-hot pursuit mo yun kasi senador yun Diba? Ang tanong ng court sa inyo, ginawa nyo ba? Kinumply nyo ba lahat ng karapatan na akusado according to the Bill of Rights? Yan ang 3 requirements na sinasabi nga doon sa Article 57 ng Rome Statute. Aside from Republic Act 9851 na basic naman na pag yan ang gagamitin mo naman pang aresto, syempre naman, you follow the rules of court. Dalhin mo rin siya sa competent court. The RTC as original jurisdiction, sinasabi ni Dr. Loha, di ba? At doon na sa RTC, again, the 3 requirements, di ba? ICC warrant ba ito? Verified ba ito? Oo. Si Bato de la Rosa nga ba ito? Oo. Nung nag-serve kayo, nag-comply ba kayo sa Bill of Rights? Tsaka lamang ang korte ng RTC magsasabi na, alright, warrant, order siya ngayon na mag-warrant siya of arrest. Yan. Hindi pwedeng yung ICC lang na warrant, isi-serve nyo sa kay De La Rosa, dahil di naman automatic yun. Ano ba kayo? Sheriff ba kayo ng ICC dyan? Itong si Trillanes, napaka mo naman, sir
Hindi, Mother, may babalikan din ako.
Oo.
Attorney Loa, meron akong tanong, kasi meron tayong 1-year timeline, di po ba? Nung umalis tayo ng 2018, sa ICC, nag-took effect po ito ng March 17 ata rin ng 2019, no? Pero wala hong kasong ginawa or sinampa. So, ano ho yung ano doon? Ano, kasi 2021 pa lang po
Dr. Melissa Loha.
Opo. Ano po yung kalagayan ng ganong sitwasyon? Kasi umalis tayo ng 2018 sa ICC, tas nag-took effect po ng 2019. Tas may 1-year rule. Ano po, paano ho ba
Ano
yung
ba yung
ma-explain?
1-year rule na yan, Dr. Loha?
Yeah, right. Now, I might agree with the appeals chamber of the ICC, but it's the ruling of the ICC appeals chamber. According to the appeals chamber, meron ng 1-year period from the moment of notification of withdrawal to the effectivity of withdrawal. And during that period, dapat tapusin na ng ICC yung investigation and dapat mag-ano na initiate na ng prosecution, ng trial, etc. Now, what was initiated during that 1-year period with respect to President Duterte was merely the investigation. Nagbigay lang si prosecutor ng intention to investigate, and that's it. Tapos, according to the appeals chamber, because of that particular act of the prosecutor, yung kanyang jurisdiction na prolong in effect, in the sense that any case stemming from the investigation of the prosecutor conducted within that period, initiated, not necessarily completed, but initiated during that period. Any case stemming from that, and my complaint against that particular ruling of the ICC is that it gives them perpetual jurisdiction. And at the same time, it's from the statute, but then that's the ruling already. That's nothing there's nothing I can do about that. Ang problem now is with respect to Senator Baton. The initiation of the investigation is now being argued as part already of the investigation against President Duterte. So all the complaints or in the case against President Duterte would be in fear or credibility. Kasi anytime an arrest warrant can be issued against them, such as Senator Bongo, other generals, and so on, simply because initiating an investigation during the 1 year, even as no complaint or no trial was initiated during that same period. So,
Right. Dr. Loha, can you cite a precedent of a citizen of another country na inaresto based on an ICC warrant?
let me just cite two very important cases para lang ma-illustrate sa ating mga tao na hindi nito kasi nadadamputin lang yung tao dalhin sa airport, that's it. So, good reasons ka na, especially if opposition siya and therefore that person is of the pride of
Napuput. Yeah.
In the case in Italy, there was this person called El Masri, Osama El Masri Nizim. He was a Libyan and he has a standing warrant in the ICC for crimes against humanity, genocide, and so on. Now, na-arrest siya sa airport ng Italy, and the authorities detained him immediately for processing na sa surrender. But Court of Appeal of Rome stepped in and said, mali yung arrest Masri, for the simple reason that under Italy's domestic law, and it's called Law 237 of 2012, under that it provides, if there is an ICC warrant that is served against a person, foreigner or national, that person has to be presented as a request. Has to be
presented to the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice would then have to go through the process of determining whether there's really the person named in the arrest warrant is the same, etc. Now, because a procedure in Law 237 was not followed, the Court of Appeals of Italy immediately ordered the release of El Masri, and that person was immediately deported to Libya. Therefore, he was not brought to the jurisdiction of the ICC. Now, Italy is a member state of the Rome Statute. In its territory, the Rome Statute has application, yet it went through the domestic procedure when it comes to the execution of an arrest warrant
Yes.
rendered by
Yes.
ICC. Now, in contrast, let me just cite the case of Hickory. Now, this one was with the German authorities. Here, Hickory was arrested on July 6, 2025. So, it's Khalid Mohammed Ali El Hickory. He was arrested on July 6, 2025 in German territory. After the arrest, the domestic process kicked in, and the domestic process is governed by the Act on International Cooperation with the International Criminal Court. And here, the procedure is present si Hickory sa isang local court, the nearest local court from the place of arrest. Now, yung local court would now ask Hickory, mag-surrender ka o hindi? And he says, no, I will not surrender. Now, after he declares that he's not willing to surrender, that local court brought him to the went through the permissibility process. And here, there is now an examination of may jurisdiction ba talaga si ICC dito sa na to. Meron bang compliance with the requirements of 59 and 91 and so on. Now, after sa local court, pumunta pa siya sa Court of Appeals. And there, ulit, si Hickory would question the validity of the warrant of arrest and so on. And the Court of Appeals said, valid man yung warrant sa'yo, etc., etc. And therefore, I shall now order your surrender to the ICC. Now, Hickory was sent to the ICC on December 3, 2025. So, in a period of 6 months, nag-domestic ang process ang umiira, hindi in ICC. And here, this clear demonstration is that in countries where rule of law is very much adhered to, nag-factor ng national jurisdiction ng courts and even police authorities before they surrender a person. Hindi pa national, foreigner na to.
Yeah.
More kung national yung kanilang isa-surrender, mas grabe siguro ka-stringent yung procedure na i-apply nila.
Yes. Dr. Loha, yung isang
Hello?
president kaso ng Italian, hindi po ba? Akusado taga-Italy.
No po, Libyan, foreigner.
Foreigner. Yung sinasabi niyong kaso na pinakawalan siya ng ICC,
Yes.
dinismiss yung kaso niya. Ano po nga uli, if you can say it in
Explain.
Tagalog, ano nga po uli ang basihan ng dismissal ng kaso niya? Dahil siya po ay hinuli sa Italy, hindi po ba?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
And hindi sinunod yung procedure ng Italy.
Sinasabi ng ICC, tama po ba ako na yung
Yes, po.
pagkahuli sa
Italian
kanya
Court of Appeals.
ay violated the laws of Italy. Tama po ba?
Yes, the Italian Court of Appeals said, i-release yung tao, then i-surrender sa ICC. Kasi yung pag-arrest niya, hindi sang-ayon sa domestic law ng Italy.
Correct. Kaya siya po
okay.
pinakawalan siya.
Yes.
Bakit po si former President Duterte, hindi rin sangayon sa batas at konstitusyon ng Pilipinas yung pagkahuli sa kanya?
Yes.
Ano po ba ang
Nakikita.
desisyon ng appeals chamber doon, ng ICC?
Walang decision on that procedure. Ang naging decision lang kasi at the chamber was on the substantive aspect, meaning may jurisdiction ba sila sa crime.
Right. Okay.
Yung jurisdiction over the person, hindi talaga na desisyonan. Now, the reason why Senator Bato is being subjected to this arbitrary process by the NBI is kailangan mag-double down ang government sa mali na ginawa nila kay President Duterte. Because the moment that the NBI concedes that the arrest has to go through the procedure, in particular the RTC, parang decision na nila yun of the government, of the part of the government, na mali yung ginawa nila kay President Duterte.
Yes.
In this reason, unfortunately for Senator Bato, talagang double down sila sa mali na ginawa nila.
So, ang,
The NBI.
ang sinasabi po ni Dr. Loha, kaya sa appeals chamber ng ICC ay natalo si former President Duterte dahil ang issue lang po doon ay may jurisdiction ba ang ICC sa subject matter of the crime. Ang sinasabi, nung those acts were committed at the time na member pa tayo ng ICC. Tama po ba, Dr. Loha? So yung subject matter
Yes.
po of the crime, ang ibig sabihin po ba nun ay sinasabi ng ICC na may jurisdiction sila sa subject matter ng crime dahil yun ay ginawa o allegedly ginawa ng akusado ni former President Duterte nung panahon na miyembro pa ang Pilipinas sa ICC sa Rome Statute.
Tama po.
Tama. So, okay. Para klaro mga kaibigan ha, hindi doon po pinag-usapan kung ang arrest ba ni PRRD ay valid o hindi valid.
Yes, hindi po pinag-usapan yan.
Kailan kaya nila pag-uusapan yun?
Attorney Loha, may tanong din ako. Kung magbago ba ang administrasyon, maaari pa bang hilingin sa ICC na itigil ang paglilitis o tuluyan ng walang kontrol ang Pilipinas sa kaso dahil ang proseso ay nasa Netherlands na? Ano
Well,
dyan?
Yung issue ng jurisdiction of the person still a live issue. So pwede pa siyang erase. Now, it can only be raised, in my opinion, it can only be raised if the Supreme Court issues a ruling na
Yeah.
illegal yung arrest ni President
PRRD.
Duterte.
Yes.
Okay.
At kung illegal ho yung arrest na yun, then Torre can face all of these cases later.
All of them.
All of them. Even
Yeah.
Matibag. In fact, there is a petition by Senator De La Rosa in the Supreme Court to stop the government, stop the BBM administration from enforcing that warrant. Especially now that NBI Director Matibag served that warrant apparently in an illegal manner without going through
Local court.
the regional trial court. So, yan po ang malaking issue ngayon dito sa pag-arrest kay Senator De La Rosa. It is now in the Philippine Supreme Court. And I think the NBI and BBM administration should respect that this issue is now in the Supreme Court and therefore they should stop
Tama po.
doing anything
Tama po.
more.
Yeah, they need to respect the
Kaso
the
hindi,
Constitution.
binarinahan pa eh. The following day, nagbarina pa ng pinto galing sa GSIS eh. Talagang kasabwat na si Chairman Biloso dito eh, sa tingin ko eh. Kasabwat ka na eh. Kasi sinabi na ni BBM na hindi ko inutos yan. Tapos, naghingi ka ng NBI para buksan lang yung pinto mo na nakakonect sa Senado. Ganun na pala ngayon, Kati. Pag nakastuck yung door ko dun sa condo ko, tatawag ako NBI. Pambira naman tong Biloso member kami dyan, ha? Pera namin yung pinangangalagaan mo. Tapos, nag-hire ka lang ng NBI para magbukas ng pintuan mo dyan. Ang mahal-mahal kaya ng sweldo ng mga yan. Babalikan kita dyan, Chairman Biloso, ha? Kailangan mag-guest ka dito sa totoo lang. So, ano pa ang mga tanong mo kay Dr. Loha?
Ayun lang po, yun at least malinaw po na yung isa is meron supposedly na 1 year na term na dapat sinunod natin nung umalis tayo ng 2018.
Sinunod ng gobyerno.
Na dapat sinunod ng gobyerno, pero hindi nangyari kasi umaksyon sila ng 2021. So basically, talagang wala na tayo sa jurisdiction ng ICC, no? So tama po ba 'yon, Attorney Loha?
As to check matter, na-resolve na kasi ng appellate chamber na meron silang jurisdiction. Pero as to the person, talagang
Wala.
questionable po yun because hindi nga sumunod sa 59.
Yeah.
As to future arrest warrants, absolutely wala na. It cannot be enforced in Philippine territory. Kasi wala yung territory natin sa scope application ng Rome Statute. It can only be enforced kasi let us say mag-issue si ICC ng warrant. It can only be enforced in a country such as Cambodia na member pa rin ng ICC. In Asia, in the ASEAN, ang Cambodia lang ang member na. No, all the rest hindi na member ng ASEAN, ng ICC. So, kung pumunta si Senator Bato sa Cambodia, pwede pa ma-arrest siya doon. So as far as Philippine territory is concerned, hindi na talaga siya directly enforceable. It would now be a discretion on the part of BBM kung i-execute pa niya yung arrest warrant, notwithstanding na hindi na tayo owned by the ICC statute. In fact, I would question the authority of the NBI, for instance, to disburse public funds in pursuant to the treaty na hindi na tayo bound.
Yun!
We have no obligation
Exactly.
under that.
They're using public funds.
Yeah, tama.
Sa Amerika, that's a big
Bakit
issue when you use public funds for illegal purposes. Ang laking, ano yan?
Problema.
Ang laking problema
Yes,
niyan. And I think the NBI and the Secretary of Justice should be held accountable for that in the Senate. They should be called to a hearing. Na magkano to mga sweldo niyo? Nagbabarina-barina lang kayo dyan? Tapos nagpaputok pa kayo? Ang tanong talaga ng mga tao, Dr. Loha, kung manalo po, yung kaso ni PRRD sa... Meron ba tayong kaso ni PRRD
Meron.
sa
May
Supreme
bagong mga
Court?
lawyer na
Oo, na sinasabing hindi valid yung pag-aresto sa kanya. Kung manalo po ito at ipadala sa ICC, i-release ba ng ICC si Duterte?
I
Sa
think there will
opinion
have
nyo?
to be a question raised by the council citing the Supreme Court decision for the release of President Duterte on the ground walang jurisdiction over the person kasi hindi hindi naggawa yung 59 provision.
Hindi nag-comply sa Article 59.
Yep.
Yan po ba?
Yes.
Yan.
Yan.
So,
Yes po.
klaro mga kaibigan, mga kababayan at mga ka-NBI. Klaro pag nanalo si PRRD sa decision sa Supreme Court, gagamitin nyo ng mga abogado niya in a motion na i-release siya dahil invalid ang pag-aresto sa kanya. Hindi naman ang ICC yung kumbaga ano ba yan sila? Hindi man sila United Nations di ba?
Hindi.
By agreement ka lang dyan nagsumama ka sa treaty di ba? Ang Pilipinas. Hindi naman yung parang kukunin mo na lang kami dito? Ini-imagine ko tuloy, parang may alien spaceship ba? Dumating dito, meron silang warrant. Kahit sino na lang, kunin niya, yan si Kati Binag, may warrant kami dyan.
Oo.
Ikaw ba si Kati Binag? Opo, akyat ka na dun. Pasok ka sa spaceship. Dali ka dun sa dahig. Ganon lang ba yun? Hindi ba kahit ordinaryong tao, at NBI matibag, napakalakas nitong
Lakas ng
dating
loob.
ni NBI matibag. Yan pala, ang asawa pala nito, congresswoman. Oo, kaya palang lakas ng loob. Hindi ba yung tao din yan ni Duterte noon, Kati?
Yes.
Yan,
Oo.
di ba ano yan? Ano ba posisyon nito matibag noon?
Hindi ko matandaan
Si Matibag talagang hindi matitibag no? Pero dito sa kaso ni Bato de la Rosa,
Nagkamali
may
siya.
tama siya dito At saka BBM. BBM, papayag ka ba dyan na wala ka ng kontrol? Wala ka ng kontrol ngayon sa bayan mo? Wala kang kontrol sa law enforcement? Sinabi mo sa amin, hindi mo inutos yan? Tapos si Matibag, banat lang ng banat doon sa Senado, nagbabarina pa the next day. Papayag ka ba, BBM, na si Matibag lang, he will make you look like a fool? Kung ako sa'yo, isuspend ko na yan agad. Bakit pa ako maghihintay na isuspend yan ng ombudsman? The Secretary of Justice can suspend him. BBM can order the Secretary of Justice to suspend Matibag. That should be another topic. Mga kababayan. Kaya, ito, kinaklaro lang natin, Ang sinabi ni Dr. Loha was PhD in international law, na ang ICC warrant ay hindi automatic. Na agad ibigay mo yan sa pulis. Oh, di ba sabi ni
Manghuli
John
na
Vic?
agad, yeah.
Uy, Kati, may crush ka na kay John Vic.
Oo nga.
Oo nga, ayan, may crush na si Kati kay John Vic. Kasi sabi ni John Vic, matibag! Hindi nga ako nag-utos dyan eh. I'm here to protect the senators. Ano ka?
Oo.
Hindi ay director ka lang Oh, di ba may crush ka na doon?
Oo, noon.
Oo, sige. Tuloy mo na. Ang
Well,
galing
di ba?
ni John Vic,
Actually, naging acting cabinet secretary
Oh,
pala
ayan,
si
ayan.
Matibag during Duterte.
Acting secretary?
Yes.
Ng ano?
Ano ba siya? Cabsec? Cabinet secretary.
Napakalakas pala.
General. Tapos dating secretary general ng PDP Laban.
Oh.
Yun ang natanda, yun pala yun, nakalimutan.
Nako, siguro,
Ah.
nakakainis na to. Ayoko na mag-comment dyan kasi political parties na yan. Ibig sabihin, mapolitiko din pala tong taong ito. Lalo na pag-asawa niya ay congresswoman pala.
Pero gusto ko ma-mother yung ginawa ni John Wick.
Ano?
Hindi siya nagpabudol kay Trililing.
O, hindi siya napabudol, no?
Hindi. Damay-damay siya dito, di ba?
Oo, ano sabi niya?
Yung sabi niya na walang arrest warrant,
Oo.
walang nakarating sa kanila, kaya nandun lang siya to protect the Senate, the senators, and yung mga tao sa Senate.
Yan.
Diba? Diba?
John Vic,
May pogi points ka.
inaangkin na kita ngayon na taga-UP ka nga. Power to the people. Protect the people. Besides, hindi ka na naman tatakbong presidente. Hindi mo na
Yeah.
kailangan yung mga ganyan. Mananalo ka naman dyan sa Cavite kung boboto sila sa'yo, di ba? Mananalo ka dyan sa Cavite. Tagal-tagal. Hindi mo na sila kailangan yung mga BBM na yan at mga matibag na yan. We are just praising John Vic Remulla here for doing the right thing according to the Constitution and the laws of the land, at hindi po siya push, hindi po siya push over.
Yeah.
Dito sa kay Matibag at kay Trillanes.
Pasalamat tayo. Dr. Melissa Loha, maraming salamat din ho sa inyong oras at nilinaw niyo po at para rin naman hindi magmukhang kami lang po ay nagmamagaling dito at ikaw po ay may PhD sa Public International Law sa University of Hong Kong.
Yun. At saka, ang tagal natin bago na rinig itong si Dr. Loha. Kaya pasalamat tayo na pinaunlakan niya ang ating imbitasyon kahit nasa malayo po siyang lugar. Ngayon ay lalakas na ang loob ni Senator Bato de la Rosa kung nasaan ka man.
Ayan.
Senator Bato de la Rosa
Natawa si Dr. Loha.
inihikayat ka ng minority, lalo na ni Senator Risa Ontiveros, na sumurrender ka na. Abay, Kate, kung ako din, kahit di ako abogado, ba't naman ako susurrender Sinabi pala ni BBM, hindi siya nagutos di ba?
Plus the fact, I just don't like, yung naratibo ng iba na fugitive siya.
Oo.
Hindi po pa ho siya fugitive.
Hindi ho siya fugitive. Kasi
Hindi
wala
pa ho.
naman hindi naman ho tama yung ginawa doon. Hindi po siya na-aresto. Hindi po, wala pong court na nag-issue ng warrant sa kanya. Fugitive ka po kung may issue sa'yo ng warrant ang RTC. Okay?
Yeah.
So, baka naman someday, pwede nating makausap si Senator De La Rosa or sa kahit mag-hi hello man lang. In the meantime, we want to thank profusely Dr. Melissa Loha, who has a PhD in Public International Law from the University of Hong Kong, for joining us today, and we hope she can join us again when this case of Senator De La Rosa has some updates. Thank you, Dr. Melissa Loha. Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Maraming salamat po.